Yo, what's up people, it's TJ Sketch and welcome back to the channel. And we're gonna talk about for once not Call of Duty or any other retro game right now, but actually we're gonna talk about something that's actually fairly current that's happening right now before our very eyes. Bethesda. This is a company that for a lot of people was held in high regard for a very long time. I mean, it seemed like this company could do no wrong, but then somewhere along the line these last few years there have been some infractions. Luckily, Doom Eternal is hopefully not going to be one of them. So far, they've actually made it very adamant and very clear that they are not going to add any microtransactions or anything stupid of any sort, which is a good thing, considering Wolfenstein Youngbloods did not get the same treatment, and we all saw how that went now, didn't we? But at the same time, we're not talking about those today. We're actually talking about Fallout 76 and how they are still allowing this game to be complete trash. How do I mean when I say this game is trash? I mean, if you look at it and if you have played it or have been trying to play it since 2018, you probably know very, very well what I'm talking about. Luckily, I dodged that bullet. Fallout 4 was enough of a disappointment for me. I did not really take part in 76, which I'm happy about. But the newest thing, or I guess one of several new things that continues to break this game, is hacks. A lot of hacks are still very prevalent in this game and continue to wreak havoc throughout these servers, and they refuse to turn them off to do server maintenance for whatever reason. It'd be a go-to. It's like, yeah, there's a problem, take the game down and let's work on it, let's get it back up and running. But no, actually, once again, the same hacker that's been doing a lot of the more popular breaks that have been covered throughout the lifespan of 76, which continue to get more hilarious. This one, the newest effort from Erect Band, actually has put a hack in the game, but actually causes loot to rain from the sky. Like, literally, it's like you look up, it's just loot monsoon. You can basically pick up rares, legendaries, everything, just about everything in the game you can just grab off the ground when this hack has been initiated, and it looks hilarious. Honestly, it's pretty fucking hilarious. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like what have you allowed to happen with this game just over and over and over again, and just refuse to fix it for whatever reason? Which makes this even more funny that Bethesda executive Pete Hines is defending the $100 yearly subscription to Fallout First. And even though they're admitting the fact that now they, oh yeah, we misread our audience completely, like we gave them a game they didn't ask for, didn't necessarily want, but also just did not take any of the feedback that these people that poured in a lot of time and effort to actually try to stick with this game, they didn't listen to those people either. It just kept giving them just more and more, just more falsehoods and just more bullshit, and like just to, in an attempt to string them along and just like keep that carrot dangling, so hopefully they'll spend more money, turning players into payers, I guess as EA would say. So with all this stuff in mind, they've been forced into making a complete game, hopefully, seeing as like their PvP modes, which have not been working out compared to the PvE modes, and they acknowledge that was a mistake to try to take one over the other, this being the PvP side of things. So now with the Wastelanders update, which should be coming out hopefully sometime soon, it's actually going to add more content to this game and more single player stuff, which is more or less what people bought this game to begin with. Like the whole PvP thing, some people were jazzed on it, sure, but a lot of people were just like, this isn't Fallout 5, or this is anything close to even what Fallout 4 was, except for more bugs. And this is the even funnier thing too, in the same interview with Pete Hines, he compares Guerrilla Games, the jump they made from producing Killzone as their first title to doing things like Horizon Zero Dawn, to their own experience at Bethesda, which is, it doesn't compare, homie. I'm sorry to tell you. I really don't even have to give you notes on that one. There's no comparison, homie. Like, Killzone, even though that was not the game they initially touted it to be, Halo Killer, that game was not. But at the same time, it's a humble beginning, much like Bethesda. But at the same time, Guerrilla Games came through to make games like Horizon Zero Dawn, and like that game's sick. That game is super sick. Can I say the same about Bethesda right now, especially? No. No, I cannot. Like, the last really, really good game that came out from Bethesda, honestly, was Doom 2016 or Doom 2015. It came out one of those years, but at the same time, it was really like the last good thing that I have seen from Bethesda. Everything else has been at best, or completely terrible. That's, sorry, I mean, just gotta call it how I see it, man. But this is the other thing too that's honestly funny. Once again, with this interview, like, Pete Hines is just dropping all kinds of knowledge on these people with this interview and showing us exactly how Bethesda wants to work. And Hines acknowledged that he definitely takes to heart opinions that he sees on subreddits, things of that sort. But when it comes to people that create YouTube content, and if they're not saying anything but glowing things about their products, he doesn't pay any attention, which is not a good attitude to have, especially with a product that you know, or in this case, several products. Elder Scrolls Blades is another one, and also, again, Wolfenstein Youngbloods is also another one that all proves the same thing they're trying to do with 76, except 76 is the most egregious of the lot. And there's basically devalues the criticism that people that make YouTube videos or content or online content that's not going through a mainstream source. He's just like, yeah, whatever. There's people that are salty for X or Y reason. So all those opinions, at least to him, fall on deaf ears, and especially someone in his position, that's not the best disposition to have, to be completely honest. And again, just like he just continues to defend the Fallout 1st subscription. This is trash, people. Like, honestly, $100 annually to have everything they told you that they were not going to put in the game. 95% of the shit is broken, so even the shit they said they were going to put into the game is still not in the game, or at least is not working properly. It's like, come on, man. Like, how? I don't know how anyone can defend this, to be completely honest with you. But the fact that he likens the Fallout 1st subscription service to buying a car of used or new value, I guess that part's kind of irrelevant in the conversation. But again, much like how he compares his studio to Guerrilla Games, there is no comparison. If you're buying a vehicle, used or new, the person's not going to gas you up on a bunch of shit that is supposed to be there, but then in reality is not. A used one, maybe. If you're at a lemon spot, that might happen, so I can say it's probably close to that. But at the same time, you're not going to get a boatload of empty promises on things that are supposed to be there and things that shouldn't be there, only to later on down the line show up in full force and be like, oh, hello, surprise mechanics, shit doesn't work, or you paid for it, but it's not actually there. So you know, this is one of those things, you can take it for what you will. But Bethesda, I'm glad at least Doom Eternal is going to be spared from the nonsense that your company is more than willing to commit as far as marketing AAA games these days. As far as new things like Elder Scrolls 6, like, it's going to be interesting to see what they try to pull with that one, or anything else that's really coming down the pipeline, because as far as Bethesda games this year, Doom is the only one that I really know of that's even getting talked about at all, essentially, aside from whatever else they may be trying to shoehorn in that doesn't need to be there to begin with. But that's a video for another day. But I thank you for checking out this video if you made it this far, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.